What's going on? Ryan Troy back with another video for you today. Now, as a person that shoots exclusively Godox products, trust me when I say I was waiting for this product. Now, don't get me wrong, I had the original version of this and it was fine. I never needed a replacement or anything. But, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the Godox XPro II. Now, one thing I think is important to mention is Flashpoint. We all know that Flashpoint is a company from Adorama that puts out Godox products with changed names. Now, their version of the original XPro was called the R2, and then they came out with the R2 Mark II. Now, I do not want you to confuse these two with the same thing. The XPro II is a brand new trigger with totally new technology that the R2 Mark II does not have. Now, at first glance, you can see a few differences compared to the original XPro. The new one is a little bit wider, but overall a great feel in the hands. Godox listened to us complain about this flippy flappy thing that never seemed to stay closed on my unit and removed it completely. And they brought the new locking mechanism to the XPro, the same locking mechanism that's found on the V1. There are a few minor changes as well, but let's get into some of the things that are a little bit different from the original. First, the way we change our channel. Now, this isn't something that is better or worse, but I figured I'll show you so you don't have to spend 10 minutes trying to figure out the same way that I did. No longer do you hold the zoom/channel button to change it. Now you do this completely from the menu. And the menu is a great place for us to focus, considering that's where a lot of these big changes come. Now, if you had the X2 trigger, you would be familiar with the lowest power you could have on your light being 1/128. That alone was the reason why I had the original XPro. Now with the XPro II, you could get it down even lower. Godox has allowed us to bring this to 1/516. This alone is a huge game changer. No longer do we need to bring our light back when we want our light to be a little bit lower. Now we could keep it closer, dial our settings down, and enjoy that nice soft light. Next, let's talk about buttons. Before, everything was written on the actual trigger and not the buttons. If it was dark, you wouldn't be able to see what you were pressing. Well, now Godox gave us backlit buttons with symbols and words on the button so we could actually see what we're pressing. Now let's get into the controllable modeling light feature. Before, all we were able to do was turn on and off our modeling light. Well, now we could adjust the percentage of the modeling light. We also could take advantage of turning on the prop setting as well. Now, one thing you have to do is make sure you update the firmware on all of your strobes and speed lights if you want to take advantage of this and a few other things from this trigger. This trigger also has Bluetooth capabilities. Now, I'm not going to really deep dive on this. I'm going to save it for a different video, but basically it allows you to connect to the Godox app, which lets you change your settings on your phone. And last but certainly not least, the user feature. And this is great. Imagine getting with a bunch of your photography friends and they have Godox products and you're setting your trigger to match their settings on their flashes. Now, usually at the end of that, you would go back to your trigger and set everything back to your flashes. Well, no longer do you have to do that. Now you can save your settings, and that way, once you're done, you just load your settings back up. And let me give you another way you can use this. Let's say you are in the studio and you have two different shooting bays. Well, you can save one setting to one bay and another setting to another bay so you don't have to change anything and load between them as you move. Now, I'm extremely excited about this trigger, and I will be bringing you more content on things that I mentioned, going a little bit deeper into it, and also the things that I forgot to mention. Now, if you are interested in this trigger, I will leave links in the description to match your camera brand. If you want more videos like this, go ahead on and subscribe. And until the next video, peace.